I think diversity does allow you to have a greater grasp on languages and cultures and what have you. But I don't think you need to make it a requirement to hire somebody. I think that's very, very unfair.
Civilized things been said.
And both speaking and Harry, I want you to echo on this because Bud said something in his opening remarks which sounds critical of our elected officials. You said we need a sensible immigration policy, and you implied that the policy we have now is nonsensical.
It's nonsensical in
It's unenforced.
it's nonsensical
In an economic sense, it's not an equitable policy. It does, to my mind, it really doesn't fulfill any needs. Whether you're talking about these H-1B visas for people with high tech skills, they get filled up in the first 2 months, and we have companies all over America, crying for engineers and technicians and scientists, and it's hard for them to get in. And the same is true at the other end of the skill level. In other words, our immigration policy is not focusing on the needs of the workplace. It's not acknowledging the dramatic demographic changes and the aging of the population and everybody. I mean, I'm 4 weeks into Medicare. I mean, everybody's getting old. I mean, who's going to take care of us? Who's going to do the work? Who's going to pay into Social Security so that we get our benefits? I mean, I'm being a little bit facetious here, but there's a whole host of issues that are all tied up with immigration. We've always been a nation of immigrants. Immigrants have been one of the key economic drivers, and that is probably more true today than ever before.
So how do you suppose it is that we just can't deal with it?
Well,
just say it. Why can't we deal with it?
Because it's kind of like they used to talk about Social Security being the third rail of American politics. Maybe there's a fourth rail out there, and it's immigration reform. And the politicians, they just don't want to bite the bullet and do the right thing.
Gary, you want to add to that?
I'm not going to add to that. I don't have any political statements to make.
These are not political. This is nonpartisan, remember?
Yeah, right.
They're all guilty, aren't they?
No, it was going to be a
I have
comedy
a
show,
follow-up
too.
question. I think that you probably could answer this one. HB1 visas are often referred to. These people say that there should be more of these issued. Well, who are the people coming in on HB1 visas, and who is hiring them?
Well, I don't know exactly who. I know that these are mainly for workers in the technology fields, the biosciences, electronics, communications. Many of them are coming from Asia. Now, understand, part of what we haven't brought up, and at least indirectly colors the immigration debate, is national security, the aftermath of 9/11, and our growing xenophobia. I mean, that's
what I was trying to get to.
I don't know. Is it a more dangerous world? I mean, I don't know. We're told it's a more dangerous world. I'm not sure it is a more dangerous world, but in any case, we've got this. It's different today because it's post 9/11. So all of a sudden, it says, well, we got to be really careful. We got to monitor everybody who comes into this country. Now we say that, but we don't monitor everybody. We don't know who's coming into this country. I'm saying it's just absolutely absurd. Public policy is always at cross purposes. There's nothing new. And what happens, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago, President Bush proposed some sensible immigration reforms, but they just got swallowed up. He couldn't get his own party behind it. Then you have the election. Nobody wanted to talk about immigration during the election, at least not in the...
And the truth is, after 9/11, we decided that a lot of those Middle Eastern people look Mexican.
Get real.
Get serious.
Get real?
Right.
Get serious.
That's what we decided. That's why we dropped the proposal, because we thought that Middle Easterns could come across the border from the south
It's not
because they
about
could
race,
pass.
sir. It's about the law. It's not
It is
race.
about race.
It's about the law.
The United States of
It's
America.
about the law. It's the law.
I'm not sure that any of...
It's not about race.
Don't argue with him.
Let me just rephrase this, directed to
Believe me, I
any
know.
or all
Like
of
arguing
you.
with Bud Kennedy.
Question is, what is the hourly wage paid undocumented?
I don't know. anybody knows.
Are undocumented getting the minimum, are they getting above the
You
minimum?
say, are undocumented workers being exploited? Are they being paid less than minimum wage? We don't know. Maybe some are, maybe some aren't. Some interesting data have come out with reference to the debate in Washington over increasing the minimum wage, that at the present time, it is estimated that only about 2% of the workforce is earning minimum wage or lower. That's out of, what do we have, 150, 160 million people in the workforce. Only 2% earning minimum wage. Almost half of those work in the hospitality industry, so the minimum wage doesn't mean anything because they get tip income on top of that. You're still left with a couple of million people who are earning minimum wage. Are those all undocumented? I don't think so, but I have not come across a survey or a study that's been able to say, who's earning minimum wage and who isn't, and are they here legally or